Hi everybody, this is Ali Charafeddine. Again, this is the second part of my recording on the topic of small group learning. And in this part of the recording, I'll be focusing more on the potential solutions for the small group learning issues. Again, the same point mentioned at the end of my first presentation, that this discussion is not exhaustive. This theoretical background is discussed in the slides to a certain extent, and here I'm talking more about practical aspects of the potential solutions to small group learning. So at the high level, and when talking about solutions to the previous problems mentioned in the first part of this presentation, from my experience as a student as well as an instructor or teacher, I found that the teacher or the instructor has there's a need for the teacher or the instructor to master the utilization of the three approaches, namely cooperative, collaborative, and problem-based learning approaches. And also sometimes it's the combination of these approaches as well. So the teacher or the instructor needs to master these approaches. Why is that? Because these approaches they have embedded in them the processes and techniques which are really suitable for different types of small group learning and different setups and levels. Basically, it depends on undergraduate, postgraduate, or the type of the subject. If it's more like professional or theoretical driven type of subject we are talking about approaches. And due to the embedded processes and techniques in these approaches, it can be used proactively also to prevent many of the small group issues from arising in the first place. Simply it's because there's kind of like a prescribed set of steps, processes, and techniques that can be used for a specific situation, or the combination of these approaches, and that would potentially prevent some of the issues from happening in the first place. I personally find the problem-based learning approach on its own, or when combined with collaborative approach, can generate amazing results among the group, the small group students or the small group, and also with the teacher as well. And the problem-based learning is very well-recommended approach for supply chain management, which is the area I basically from or belong to. At the instructors or teachers level, and in order to overcome the issues of identity and group dynamics, this is different topic, a different point now. At the instructor or teachers level, and in order to overcome the issues of identity and group dynamics, interactions, motivation, and authority, it is recommended for the instructor or the teacher to act and switch among different personalities in a skillfully playing roles in order to make sure that the message is delivered in the most efficient way, and also the issue is being handled in the most efficient way. And here we're talking about these roles are information disseminator. So the teacher or the instructor can be information disseminator, can be an evaluator, or can be a parent even sometimes, or professional consultant, or confidant, or learner, and mediator in synchronization with the different personalities of the students of the group. So basically what I'm trying to say here is that the teacher needs to play these roles and switch between these roles depending on who is the student he's talking to, what type of issue the student is facing, and what type of issue the teacher is trying to resolve for this problem, and how this falls within the overall structure of the small group, and how the whole group is interacting with the teacher. And more we can discuss in this area, but this is basically the gist of it. I personally, as an instructor, have always tried to hold the positive view that students of a small group especially in higher education, when behaving in a way which is commonly perceived as peculiar. I won't say negative, but peculiar. I'll try to understand myself, my experience. I'll try to understand the background of the behavior, explain the consequences, try to explain the consequences of the student to the student, and give another chance to reflect, to reflect and rectify on the situation, after which I will formulate my decision if the issue persists in that situation. From my own personal experience as an instructor, I've always found that running small group as a small project team, or the students in the small group as a group of project team or a small team of department managers. On one hand, it trains the students when they are treated as a project team or when they are treated as a group of department managers. It trains the students on how to run effective and productive group. And also on the other hand, the approach becomes an opportunity to educate those students and to train them on how to become effective managers in all facets of management. In specific, I would ask them, I ask him, and help the group to assign the responsibilities and to ensure that each of the students is presenting a written personal report on his or her observations. And also this report is supposed to be including the observations, milestones, timelines, resources required to complete the task or responsibility, and also the approach of executing and implementing that task. There's also a report from the group leader that should describe the agenda of the meeting, the attendees, actions register, the milestones, timelines, resources required, and also the outcome expected. In addition, I'll also ask for a meeting recording for each of the group meetings using online conference call facility application that records, captures the recording of the discussions as well as the slides presented or the reports presented in that meeting. So that record discussion as well as the material presented by each of the group members recorded as well. In small group setting, teacher must be very aware of micro inequities among the team members and between the team and the teacher, and should recognize and utilize dynamics of diversity and inclusion in getting the group to perform, collaborate, and succeed. And thank you very much.